usually sports engineering problems go through August, yeah. So we called August a second ago, and I'm thinking about texting him now and asking why we aren't getting levels. Oh, we are getting levels through the codec.
Yep.
I don't know how. I don't know by what means, but they just popped up. Oh, fantastic.
That's the
Great job, Nathan.
I actually did something productive.
Okay, make a note of that. Like, copy down Jack Armstrong's instructions and, like, be making a note of the things we're figuring out.
Yep, gotcha. So,
Like, in order to get.
So pretty much everything you figured out like was basically on his instructions so far. Or you're gonna figure out different things next week.
I needed to, like, enable the codec on my audio within my audio. Okay, so we're getting levels right now, which means that levels are happening, and if I were to turn on program 1 like this, we would be
Amazing. All right, transmitting. Wonderful. Okay. Okay. Pranay, put your microphone on, my brother.
I overheard this game's apparently sold out. Should be a full house.
Insane.
How are we looking?
I think all right. Put your microphone on, Pranay, if you will. Pranay, put this on for me.
Hola.
Oh, my fucking God. Jesus Christ. Okay. All right, that's fine. That's okay.
No.
How about that? How do you sound now?
It's still a little loud.
Okay, that's
I-
fine.
I feel like this is a little bit painfully loud. Oh, yeah.
I'm working on it.
We're shaking, we're baking.
Okay, I think we're basically all set up.
Station team. Home base. Do you hear us? Do you copy?
There might be something we have to.
Are we online? We are online. I heard something. Was that you, Izzy? Something really faint in the back. Yeah, I can barely hear you,
You're
Izzy.
really quiet. You're really.
Oh, yeah, way too
my
loud,
God.
too loud. Turn down, turn down. Yep,
Yeah,
perfect.
Yes. Oh, my goodness, yes.
How are we coming across?
Yeah. How do we sound? Yeah, let's do it. All right,
Talking at the same time. This game's
is
about
us
to take
talking.
off. This is WKCR. Thanks for tuning in.
Aaron.
You faded a little, Izzy.
She's checking something, I think.
Ah.
Yeah, all right. This is me doing a sound check and my chance to complain that I wish I was closer up to the court, but they've shoved us in the back corner. It's kind of fucked up.
No bueno. Talking about basketball on 89. Turn up my volume. Where am I here?
Input
This
right
one?
there. Yeah, slight.
Is this better? Are we on 89.9 WKCR FM?
Talking. This is my speaking volume. I'm talking. Talking. I'm probably not going to get much louder than this if something super epic happens. Okay. Talking. This is us talking
game
about
is
basketball.
getting out of hand.
They're
Oh, my
gonna
Lanta.
pass
Did
it to
that
the corner,
just
elbow,
happen?
Corner three. Awesome. Wonderful. All right, now we can.
I actually like the standing setup right now.
Yeah, you do. You want to
It's
stand
much better.
up?
I like the blood flow. I actually
I don't
would be
mind
down
it.
to do a
I'm
little.
down to stand.
Yeah, I'm in.
I can't.
Outstanding.
Right. Cool. Okay, so we've got lots of time on our hands, don't we? Okay, I'm prepared to die.
Yeah.
No.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, now
it's in. But that's good volume. That's great volume.
Yeah, this is fine. Talking
about basketball.
This is us talking
We're
at
here.
our relatively normal
This is
volume.
AA Ron.
Blah, blah,
I'm
blah.
Pranay.
Me and Pranay. Okay.
Cool.
That sounds good. Quick question. Between quarters and at halftime, do we have anything to pull back to you for?
Turn here. Oh, try that again. Is he?
He should only be changing his headphones. Okay.
How do I turn down?
Come on, Abby. Abby, shoot! No! That's a jump ball.
Yep. All right, I'll bring it in. We're live from Levian.
Check and see if we're coming through. Should we just talk?
Tell me when it's on.
All right, play-by-play. So looks like we had a turnover. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I think we are live again. Hopefully we have some viewers still, tagging along. But regardless, we're trying to make sure everything's happening. Really nice start to the game. Harvard has actually jumped out into a short lead. Nicole Stevens onto the court for the Lions. Other than that, we have Perry Page. We have the Henderson sisters. Kitty just shot and then gets called for a foul on the rebound.
Thanks for joining us on 89.9 WKCR.
WKCR FM, WKCR HD. But right now, of course, we are on the YouTube broadcast. You would know that if you are listening to us right now. Columbia down 5 points early in this first quarter. We just reached the halfway point of that quarter, so 5 minutes to go in this period. Harvard now have possession, trying to extend their lead. Driving, we got a jump shot from just above the foul line. No good. Rebound. It's coming out to Nicole Stevens, and now we have a fast break for Columbia. And Stevens goes up. Awkward layup, but she gets it. Underhand sort of toss, trying to absorb contact. I think maybe she thought a foul was coming, but no, just gets the two. Harvard coming back now. Still in the lead. Most notably, star player Harmony Turner. She has been in control early on, and she's on the ball right now, just sort of dribbling out the clock a little bit. One-on-one defense with Perry Page. Drives to her left, gets to the basket, and it's fouled on her way. Are they going to give the shot for that? Foul is called on Perry Page, her first of the game, and I think we're going to have a media timeout here. So we'll take this opportunity, Pernay, since we didn't really get an opportunity to intro this game. Give me some of your preliminary thoughts about this matchup, if you will.
Sure. Overall, everybody knows about star player Abby Shue leading the Ivy League in scoring against Harmony Turner's just a point per game back. Both prolific scorers, both teams that have faced each other a couple times in the last year and change. We've been reminded this is a rematch of a game in this very tournament a year and change ago, where Harvard got one of the rare upsets in the Ivy League championships.
That's right.
Last month, though, these teams faced off twice, once away, once at home for Columbia. Away at Harvard, they went back and forth. The lead changed more than a dozen times. It was a bit of a competitive match, but Columbia sealed the deal in the end. Back here at Levian, it was there was only one leader the entire game. Columbia had it. In terms of some stats there, Columbia had scored a third of their points off the bench, a lot of mixing up the players. That's something Coach Griffith has been trying to keep in mind, trying to keep her players fresh, moving them out and rotating through the entire bench. Pretty consistent across the entire team with 9 players contributing in more than 20 games this season. In terms of second chance points in that game, that's where the Lady Lions outperformed versus Harvard in February with 3 times as many points made because they got their rebounds and they maintained possession. That's clear elsewhere in the box score with Columbia nearly doubling Harvard's offensive rebounds and having 50% more rebounds overall. Similar shooting percentages, similar efficiency from the field, but with Columbia getting 31 chances at the line versus 7 for Harvard, that was a big deal maker for Columbia.
Two really closely contested teams, Pernay, and truly a matchup that can go anywhere. Even despite the fact that Columbia swept the regular season, we saw how good that did them last season. You talked about that at length. So Harvard knows how to pull it out in the postseason. Columbia will be looking for revenge on that exact game. One quick note just on the tournament in general, and in case you're not informed, this is, of course, Ivy League Madness. This is the conference championship tournament. Columbia, the number 2 seed, despite the fact that they actually did win the regular season. Isn't that remarkable how things worked out? That you can actually blame on the NCAA net rankings, which had Princeton at 34 and Columbia at 54. That's where the tiebreakers had brought them. And, if anything, that's just a chip on Columbia's shoulder. They get this matchup before hopefully advancing to face Princeton in the finals. So there's a lot of emotion in this game. There's a lot. And it means a lot to both teams beyond, of course, just the championship game appearance. So we have foul shots here for Harmony Turner after she was fouled by Perry Page. They did give her shooting on that foul call, even though she was essentially on the ground, but that's how it works. She was going up, technically speaking. Makes the first one. And she's money on the second as well. 2 for 2, extends the Harvard lead back up to 4 early in this game, 10-6. Cecilia Collins on the ball. She gives it back down to Page. She's trying to back down her defender, turnaround layup, and she gets that off the backboard. So Columbia finding their feet with the scoring. Right now it's Henderson, Collins, Page, Stevens, and, of course, Abby Shue. Harmony Turner on the ball for Harvard. She's top of the key. Some quick dribbling moves, passes it alongside. Now in the corner, it's Gabby Anderson. She passes it back up top in the hands of Turner once more. Shot clock ticking down. They got to get a shot off. Hopeful 3 off the backboard and in. Wow. Harmony Turner shutting up the Columbia fans who are just starting to get rowdy. She is a force to be reckoned with, Pranay.
That's right. And the Columbia fans are noticing it's a sold-out crowd here. Packed house.
As much noise as you'll maybe ever get unless Columbia advances to tomorrow's championship game. Then maybe you'll get slightly more. But other than that, unmatched environment here. Foul called down low on Kitty Henderson was fouled. She was fouled by Gabby Anderson. So that is on the floor. Columbia will take it out underneath. 20 seconds reset for the shot clock. On that note of environment, Pranay, Columbia leads the Ivy League in several different stats, but one of those is attendance. They average over 1,400 on their home games. Very impressive showing out for a good team. 3-point shot there from Collins, no good. Rebound Turner.
That's absolutely right. They're making that apparent today and even last Monday, just a week and a half ago, in their in the end of the season. Their win over another Ivy League team. They had a full house. It was raucous. A lot of pictures were made. Abby Shue put up some more leading stats, having another, in terms of her scoring performance this entire season, it's another top 5 performance overall for the Columbia Lions ever.
Speaking of performance, Kitty Henderson getting down on the floor with the jump ball counts as a steal. Columbia gets possession. So good defense there from Henderson. And she will likely get the inbounds from her sister, Kitty and Fliss, the Henderson sisters. Instead, the pass goes to Nicole Stevens, I should say. Stevens allowing the offense to set up. Kitty Henderson in the near corner. Abby Shue gets the ball at the top of the key. Gives to Page. Page waiting for some movement there. Faces her defender up now. Gives to Stevens. Stevens feels some contact. Nothing called. Back to Shue. Shue guarded by Turner. Star player on star player. What can Shue pull out here? She's got a bag. Drives to her right. Pulls up with a jump shot. It's good.
Drains it. Work of art.
Even when you're right up on her, she still finds a way to score. Turner finds a gap, drives into the lane, gets fouled, so she'll go back to the foul line.
That was easily the slowest point so far for the Lions. They really took their time there, whereas for the last several plays, they had really just shot and scored within about 2-3 seconds of getting possession.
That's right. That was a bit more of a labor possession, trying to maybe settle into their game a bit more, but they were lackadaisical on defense, Pranay. Didn't switch on in time, allowed Turner to drive right through him, and now she's at the foul line.
It's true. That's something that they're going to need to watch for. This is a player that clearly knows how to put the ball in the basket.
She is proficient. There's no doubt about it, and she'll make you pay if you're not on your toes. So mental acuity there for Columbia just needs to be a bit sharper. Harmony Turner hits her second free throw. Lead remains at 4, 14-10 score. Stevens bringing it up. Loses her dribble for a second, but picks it right back up.
A lot of backcourt pressure over there, huh?
Turner with, just a little bit of Just a little bit of toughness. Really nice pass from Henderson there, and Paige gets fouled going up, so she'll head to the line for some Columbia free throws. Seeing the creativity of Kitty Henderson there. While we were going through some technical difficulties, Pranay and I, we were talking about the importance of Kitty Henderson. Pranay, what does Kitty Henderson mean to this team in your eyes?
You know, the Henderson sisters are being used much more defensively than other players. They've upped their rebounds per game in the new year by double-digit percentage points. With Fliss's boards up nearly 50%, she's doubling her blocks per game in the new year relative to her first couple months with the team. In terms of assists and defensive stats, these two players have really outshined relative to others. I think, who is it? Is it Kitty who's the only leader on assists outside of Abby Shue? Only person to lead the team on assists outside of Abby Shue this season.
Kitty Henderson, she's getting herself 4.1 assists per game. That's good for fourth in the conference, so that's definitely a strong suit of hers, and we saw that passing ability. Setting up that foul. One of the free throws made for Paige. Down low here. Good defense by Paige. Pokes it away and wins it. Now onto the court is Riley Weiss, and she gives it up to Stevens. Both the Henderson sisters off the court for the time being. Here's Shue. Trying to set up a play. Palm to her forehead. I'm sure her teammates know what that means. Stevens. Back to Shue. She got slightly open three. High arcing shot, and it's in! Sometimes you can just tell when it comes off her fingers, Pranay.
That's right. She knows what she's doing.
Turner with a quick shot. Off the front of the rim, really short. So game is now tied at 14, courtesy of Abby Shue, of course, leading scorer in Columbia's history. Has a laundry list of accolades that we can go through. Kicks to Weiss in the corner. Raffiu back in the game. She's up top. Raffiu to Weiss, three-point shooter. Drives to her right, picks up her dribble. Kicks it out to Stevens. Stevens looking for something. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Got to go up. Drives to her right, finds a lane. Floater off the back of the rim. Rebound Harvard. Fighting for it is Raffiu. Can't get it. Sorry, it's actually Paige. Paige and Raffiu out there together. So it's the taller setup for Columbia, although they have Collins and Henderson ready to come back in. Turner trying to find her way around Columbia's defense. Kicks to the corner. Drive along the baseline. Floater is good. That was Carly White, first year, out of Burbank, California. Buzzer beater for the end of the first quarter. Doesn't go. So Harvard keep their lead just about, ending the first quarter. They were leading for the majority. Columbia still seem to be warming into the game, Pranay. What do you think Columbia needs to improve upon?
A lot of efficient play with given their possession time. In terms of just staying on top of getting those boards, they've been trying. They've been in the mix. They've, like you said, in this last possession, they fought for it, getting the pick up there, getting that board, but maybe being a little bit more strategic in their coverage. What do you think, Aaron?
You know, it's tough to settle into an environment such as this, and that's not an excuse. If anything, Columbia should feel like they have the advantage in that department because this is their home crowd and they have so much support from the people here. But it just sort of seems like they're not yet comfortable in the game environment. It seems like Harvard's throwing things at them that maybe they didn't expect. Maybe Harmony Turner's putting things into the mix that Columbia didn't exactly prepare for. But for whatever reason, it just looks like Columbia is still trying to find their way to success. And they had to do a little bit of leaning on Abby Shue, maybe more than they would have wanted.
100%. Making sure they understand where Harmony Turner is on the court and controlling that very, very talented player is going to be a top priority going into the second quarter. In terms of getting comfortable, there's been a lot of rotation through players. That's something we've been seeing the entire time throughout the season. That's something Coach Griffith has been doing intentionally. She's been using a lot of data to make sure players are fresh, getting their rest, and getting the optimal performance out of them when they're on the court. In terms of the home court advantage, Columbia's been shown up there. I think they've won 10 straight and 20 of their last 21 at home.
That's right.
And like we were talking about earlier, against Harvard, they did substantially better against Harvard at home here at Levian with their crowd than they did away at Harvard.
14-1 home record on the season, 20-1 in their last 21 games. Woo. So just about as hot as a team could possibly be.
They know what they're doing at home. They feel it.
That's right. And they're on a 10-game winning streak, a winning streak that includes beating all of the other teams in the Ivy. So they have really shown themselves to be a force to be reckoned with. Harvard is certainly aware of that.
Absolutely. I think, you bring up their last 10 games or so. In the new year, they've really shown up in terms of adjusting some of their defensive stats, spreading the ball around. Abby Shu is the only one who's improved her three-point percentage, that by double digits, actually. But everywhere else, there's been a lot of spreading the ball around, getting more steals, assists, and rebounds. That's clearly been a priority for the team. That's something the coach had talked about. We saw at the beginning of the season, we were commenting how Abby Shu, both intentionally from the coach's standpoint and clearly from the stats, was being used less offensively and more across these other stats, helping build up plays, helping create some defensive pressure. But because the other players on the team have been used and been putting up more points, putting up better stats, assists, more blocks, more steals, Abby's been able to focus on knocking down those threes. And we're back. Harvard with possession. Mulaney with the ball, looking. Just moving the ball around on the outside, looking for options. Looking for a three. Mulaney takes it. She is the number 2 all-time three-point score getter, but she misses this one for Harvard. Lions ball. Stevens with the ball going inside of Raffiu. Looking inside for some layup. Gets blocked away. Harvard with the ball. Running back down. Quick get for the Lady Lions. Back in the hands of freshman Riley Weiss. Going up for one on the inside. Miss. Harvard seems to come up with the ball, but there's a little bit of scuffle on the ground. Let's see who the judges will give it to. I'm sorry, the refs.
Looks like they're pointing Columbia's way, so it'll stay Columbia ball. But definitely messy.
Yeah, a little bit. There was definitely some aggression on the floor there.
And something that Columbia seems to be struggling with is getting those good shots up when they are underneath the net. They can get to the rim, but those layup attempts are a bit laborious at the moment.
That's right. Kitty Henderson bringing it in. Out to Cecilia Collins. Back to Kitty. Going inside, looking for something. Going back outside to Cecilia, who goes for the three. Gets it. Harvard ball. Taking it down is number 12. Out to 22. Harvard ball still. Rodriguez with the ball going inside. Back out. Glenn Bello looking for the points. Didn't get it. Lions ball. Oh, and one for Kitty. Kitty will go to the line. Have they been doing a good job drawing those fouls so far, Aaron?
It's been okay so far, I would say. That's, I believe, the second time they've headed to the foul line. But I think generally their strategy is appropriate. Punish the paint as much as you possibly can. Try and get them into foul trouble. And, sometimes it works really well. Sometimes they're better at avoiding fouls. But the only thing you can do is put them into those situations.
And it's good. Harvard ball. Harmony Turner with the ball. Reading the field, looking for options. Into Glenn Bello. Looking for options back outside. Goes to Mulaney.
So far, this has really been a battle of two stars. It's Turner versus Shu, both leading their teams in points.
Oh, hit out by Stevens. Harvard ball. Right now in for Harvard are Glenn Bello, Rodriguez. Mulaney taking it out. And Krupa.
And, of course, Turner.
Of course.
Turner, I don't believe, has left the court yet.
No breather for her. From the inside, Krupa gets it.
Nice turnaround move. Nothing you can do about defending that. She created her space, and she executed.
That's right. Cecilia Collins has the ball for the Lions. Sets up, and Abby Shu, a rare miss. Harvard ball.
That was a really nice setup for Shu. She rarely gets that amount of space for her three.
That's right. Turner looked for it from the outside. Also didn't get it. Lions ball. Cecilia Collins will take this out. No back up. Maybe Harmony Turner coming back in for some backcourt pressure. Kitty with the ball.
Subtly, Columbia have turned this around, and you really would put it on the defense. They're making it harder for Harvard to score, and they're chugging along at their own steady pace. Foul called against Harvard.
Kitty taking it out. Crowd got real quiet right there. Riley Weiss into Cecilia Collins. Inside Abby Shue. Looking for some. Dribbling. Fade away. Jumper.
Oh.
In and out. Tough. Harmony Turner takes it back.
Inches away. Painful for Columbia fans.
Truly. From the inside. Glenn Bello, no good. Abby Shue pitches it. Inside. Back to Abby. Cecilia Holden looking for options. Looking at Raffi, asking her to come in, and makes the pass. Back to Cecilia. Outside to Raffi, who goes for the three. Drains it. Crowd is loving that. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but everyone's having a good time here tonight.
I mean, I think that was an important moment for the crowd, Panay. The more that they can get the crowd into this, the more that they're going to take control.
Absolutely. Oh, Harvard answers immediately with number 20, Lowell Mulaney, going in for two. Quick layup. Cecilia Collins coming back in. Quick layup. Also, quick points. And she's down.
I think they're going to take that back, Pernay. I think they're calling an offensive foul on Collins.
Yep.
So Collins got the ball to fall, but really nice defensive positioning on Harvard's behalf. It's a really nice stand-up defense, you have to say.
Harmony Turner with the ball. Going in, back into number 10, Rodriguez, back to 20. In for the layup. It's good. Back to the Lions. Collins with the ball. Hand off to Abby Shue. Getting a lot of pressure already from Turner. Back and forth, Collins and Shue. Clearly gesturing, trying to set things up. Back to Shue. From the outside, goes for the three. It's good.
Oh, man, she is something else, Pernay.
She's a shoe-in, huh?
You don't see many players getting guarded that closely on the three-point line and still being able to make a move and find the basket.
Absolutely. Delivering under pressure, definitely something she has grown accustomed to doing.
Just a shrug your shoulders type of player. You can only do so much.
Absolutely. Harmony Turner on the inside of the ball, no good. Abby Shue gets the board. Back down to Kitty. Looking for some driving. Whistle. What is that, Aaron?
That's a travel right there, Pernay. Kitty's pivot foot slid a little bit while she was trying to find a passing option.
You know, we've noticed the FIBA rules have thrown off her sister occasionally at the beginning of the season, more so than recently. That you're allowed to take an extra travel step there, I believe.
Just a small mistake there from Henderson. She's done plenty good. Can't really blame her for that one. Sometimes the foot just slides. There's nothing you can do.
It's true. Rodriguez with the ball for Harvard. 31, Krupa goes in, gets two. Quick drive.
Krupa, really good scorer.
Absolutely. That was a very slick little role play.
He's got an even 50% field goal percentage.
It's not bad. Riley Weiss took a shot from the outside. A miss. Harvard ball. Turner got it. Krupa. Back to Rodriguez. Back to Turner. Looking for options. Just talking to Rodriguez. Trying to set things up. Abby Shue putting a lot of pressure now. Turner driving in. Takes a shot. And it's good.
I mean, talk about a shooter's bounce there.
Yeah.
And she, I think, was looking for a foul call. She was flinching against some contact, but nothing given.
Absolutely. There was a lot of setup on that play. Lions ball. Kitty Henderson driving in. Miss.
What
Turner.
a nice drive.
Absolutely. Turner picked up the board. Harvard ball. Turner going to get things set up. Looks like she's staring down the ref a little bit. Inside to Rodriguez. Back to Krupa from the 3. Goes back to 20. Lil Maleni. Takes a shot. No good. Pushed out. Crimson ball. A little timeout.
It's been a low-scoring game so far, Pranay. About 3.5 minutes left in the half, and neither team has yet to breach 30.
Yep. Tie game at 26. Anyone standing out right now? Aaron?
Well, it's hard to look away from Abby Shue, of course.
Truly.
But I really, over my time watching Columbia women's basketball, I've developed an appreciation for what Kitty Henderson provides to this team, and I think it's really important. I think that she controls the pace of the play. She is in charge of the spacing, and I think she sets the tone for effort. And I can only imagine the added chemistry that Fliss brings in. But Kitty, in her own right, is just an incredible player. She's got nearly 12 points per game, 6 rebounds, field goal percentage approaching 50. I mean, statistically, she's everything you could ask for from a point guard. She's even, I mean, you talked about her defense. She's averaging nearly 2 steals per game. That's good for second in the conference. And she, I think, is just the glue for this team.
Absolutely. She's creating a lot of opportunities. Her aggression and the way she's used on the court is creating a lot of openings that Abby Shue is able to take advantage of. I think that is a great 1-2 punch. And adding some transfers, Collins, of course, being up there in terms of a quick addition to the team from day one, has created a lot of scoring pressure that other teams are having trouble keeping up with. In terms of Abby Shue, we talked about a lot of accolades. We honestly just have a page of them written down. We'd go through that all day. In terms of since the new year, Abby Shue has been able to produce a lot more. This season, actually, is a real standout in terms of double-doubles. 5 of her 7 career double-doubles have been this season. She's not blocking or stealing as much since the new year. Her assists are up. Her turnovers are down. Looks like she's been able to focus a lot more. And a third of her 20-point games have been this season. Nearly 2 in 3 games this season, she scored over 20 points. How about that, Aaron?
She just knows how to put that ball in the basket. Nothing can stop her. She just recently collected that Ivy League Player of the Year accolade, incredible award. And she, of course, is so deserving of that, the way that she's been playing, not just this year, but the 4 years that she's been here at Columbia. I also do want to shout out Coach Megan Griffith. She won Coach of the Year, guiding this Columbia team to a really remarkable 22-5 season. I mean, I think that we're seeing, hopefully not for the sake of Columbia fans going forwards, but at the moment I think it's safe to say we're seeing a program at the peak of its powers, Pranay. This is really the best Columbia women's basketball maybe has ever been and maybe will be for at least the coming decades. And so I think if you're here listening to this broadcast and or watching this team, you should really consider yourself quite lucky.
Absolutely. We're back. Harvard ball. Glenn Bellot with the ball, looking for something inside to Rodriguez, who goes up. No good. Lions ball. Collins taking it down. Inside to Kitty. Oh, a little bump. Harvard ball. Turner looking for something. 3 minutes left in the second quarter. Nice little hook pass there. Whistle.
Wow. Another travel call. She picked up her dribble a little bit too early. Little mental mistake.
Yep. Lady Lions got the ball. Cecilia Collins taking it out. Into Stevens. They're looking to set up, taking their time here. Still a tie game, 26-all. Stevens on the outside. Abby Shue on the outside.
Look at all that space she's got. Nobody on the right
Ooh.
side of the court.
Yeah, a lot of openings, my gosh. Looks at Raffio, dribbles past. A lot of pressure. Stevens with the ball, dribbling inside, takes a shot. No good. Harvard ball. Turner taking it down, signaling. Mulaney. Lots of gesturing, lots of setting up going on. Rodriguez on the outside setting up. Number 31, Krupa, takes a shot, misses.
It's going to be a blocking foul on Stevens. I think they're going to head to the line here for a couple of foul shots.
Looks like it.
Fliss Henderson and Perry Page coming back into the game. Harvard really, Columbia likes to get into the paint, but they enjoy their three-point shooting. It really seems like Harvard a lot lower on the three-pointers. They really like to get close to the rim if they can.
Absolutely, driving in. Good for one. That's Krupa. Which is actually surprising in terms of Harvard's play. We were talking about this earlier. Mulaney, Krupa good for two. Mulaney, second all-time three-point shooter for Harvard. She's on the court, and she hasn't really been going for many threes, has she?
No, she has not. Mulaney been pretty quiet so far this game. Perhaps Harvard adjusting its strategy for what can be considered a somewhat smaller roster on Columbia's side.
Crimson ball. Refs conferencing. They seem to have seen a little kerfuffle between some players. I think that was Kitty and number 14, Turner. But no consequence there.
Yeah, it was an awkward moment, Pranay, but I don't think there was any ill will particularly. This is not a Columbia team that's known for getting into fights or scuffles or anything like that.
True.
Perhaps there's some Ivy League aspect to that.
Rodriguez on the inside of the ball for Harvard. Goes in, no good. Knocked out. Crimson ball.
She did a great job of getting to the paint there. I think that was Harvard's number 10, Rodriguez, but couldn't apply the finishing touch.
Yeah, they're using her to drive inside and try and take those shots, but kind of an awkward angle.
It's really a blessing when Rodriguez misses because she's got a 52.2% field goal percentage, second best in the Ivy.
Yep. Turner from the outside looking for something. Out to Glenn Bello. Inside again to Krupa. Krupa goes for it. No good. The board goes to number 4 with the Lions, Fliss Henderson. Into Abby Shue. Back to Fliss. Back to Sister Henderson. Sisters are just going back and forth. Crimson ball. Fliss with the takeaway.
Really good anticipation by Page, seeing that pass getting in the way.
Yep. Abby Shue on the outside, drains a three.
You just can't give her that much space, Pranay.
Nope. Even for half a second. And that is all she needed.
And there seems to be some sort of call on the referees here.
Yep, a lot more conferencing.
5-second call. Is that?
Substitution. Collins in for Kitty Henderson.
So I think what happened there, Pranay, is there was an off-ball foul as Shue's basket went in, and I think they're counting the basket and giving Columbia possession back.
Interesting.
Abby Shue starting off the game 3 for 6 from behind the arc. That's quite impressive.
For your typical player. Maybe not for Abby. 28-29, close game. What was that, Aaron?
It's hard to really say if anything that she does is out of the ordinary for her. Just the standard that she has set for herself.
It's true.
A lot of referee deliberation going on right now.
Yep. In terms of this setup, Collins has really been showing up across a lot of stats. She's led on a couple of games in terms of assists. She has very much stepped into this role as being a binding agent across the players on this team. Scored her 1,000th career point this season. Fliss Henderson with the ball. Back to Collins on the outside. Back to Fliss. Driving in. Goes for it, no good. Gets her own rebound. Almost. Gets knocked out. Crimson ball.
All right. This is the basketball broadcast. We are listening to Columbia women's basketball versus Harvard, and the game's been pretty exciting so far. Other things going on here at WKCR, we've got some upcoming birthday broadcasts, and we will have those out for you in just a sec.
Is everything all good?
All right, and our birthday broadcast for here at WKCR FM New York and WKCR HD coming up for April. We've got on the 7th we had a Billie Holiday birthday broadcast, and then coming up we've also got a Charles Mingus birthday broadcast on the 22nd, an Ella Fitzgerald broadcast on the 25th, a Ma Rainey broadcast on the 29th, and then a Duke Ellington broadcast on the Duke Ellington broadcast on the 29th. We've also got coming up here, we'll be starting to cover Columbia baseball, and we'll also be getting some coverage to you guys on Firing Lion. We'll be having we'll have some of our sports reporters headed to the Mets and the Yankees to do some on-site coverage there. So pretty exciting. We'll have coverage of games and some feedback there. And then we'll be covering baseball. So we'll have play-by-play like you guys know with our basketball broadcast and covering baseball. And so Columbia women's basketball has been pretty exciting this season. We actually had the opportunity to go to Columbia Women's Basketball Media Day at the beginning of the semester. And it was really exciting to hear about how we've got about this fresh young team, really a lot of standouts on the Columbia Women's Basketball team. And Abby Shue was recently named the Columbia Women's Basketball or Ivy League. Abby Shue was recently named the Ivy League basketball player, Ivy League MVP, which was super exciting. And it's been an exciting season for Columbia Women's Basketball. Abby Shue is also a finalist for the Becky Hammond Award, and joined by Gonzaga's Yvonne Bijan, CFU's McKenna Hofschild, Drake University's Kate Dinnebier, and Wofford's Rose. And so it's pretty exciting. We've got a lot of really exciting talent coming up here through the Columbia Women's Basketball program. Even with this young team, even with as Columbia Women's Basketball is starting to shift what their defense looks like, it's a pretty exciting time for Columbia Women's Basketball. So we'll be sending it back to the station soon, and I hope you'll enjoy. Or we'll be sending it back to not the station, we'll be sending it back to Levin Gymnasium soon. So hope you'll enjoy.
Hello and welcome back to Levy Gymnasium on the campus of Columbia University in Morningside Heights in Manhattan, New York. We are about 5.5 minutes out from the beginning of the second half of Columbia women's basketball's Ivy League semifinal matchup against the Harvard Crimson. A game in which, of course, they were favored. However, they come into the second half down by just 1 point, a pretty inefficient offensive first half. And when we talk about inefficiency, the number one place, of course, you go to is field goal percentage. So currently, Columbia has shooting 10 of 27 from the field. It's about 37%. Meanwhile, Harvard only taking 26 shots, one less, but they've made 2 more, so they're shooting about 46%. From 3, Columbia's been pretty solid. They're 5 of 11. Harvard's only taken 5 3-point shots, so it's very interesting to observe the 2 different approaches. Harvard really not looking for any long-range attempts. They're really looking to get to the rim and punish Columbia there. And one individual that has been particularly proficient at that is Krupa. She has been very good, especially from short range, getting closer to the basket. She's 3 of 4 from the field. She's got herself 9 points. She's taken 1 3-pointer. She's made it. So very proficient from her perspective. The other player to be looking at from Harvard's point of view is, of course, Harmony Turner. And we didn't really get a chance to spotlight her before the game started, but, I mean, she is in just about every category that you could ask about when it comes to this team. She is scoring 19 about points per game. That's second in the Ivy. She's got 4 assists about. She's third in the league for that. She also leads the league in steals per game. She's the only player in Ivy League women's basketball to be averaging more than 2 steals per game. She's at 2.1. Second is, of course, we already mentioned Katie Henderson. She's at 1.9. So Harmony Turner just special in all aspects. She has proven that. One player that we haven't seen as much from is Lola Mullaney. We talked a little bit about her, Pernay, who rejoins me in the broadcast. I'm Aaron Cohen, joined, of course, by Pernay Udutha. Pernay, why do you think we haven't seen as much from Lola Mullaney? Do you think that's going to change in the second half?
Seems like they've just been running a different route. They've been trying to go inside. They've been using a lot more Rodriguez. Excuse me, sorry. Technical issue on my end. Hope my mic is back. I was just saying, they've been running a different route. Instead of going from the outside with Mullaney, they've been going inside with Rodriguez. It's worked to some extent, but like Aaron was mentioning, Mullaney is Harvard's number 2 all-time three-point shooter.
She's averaging 2.2 3-pointers made per game. That's third in the Ivy League. So she's known for being a shooter, and, you know, they're probably trying to take advantage of the attention that she draws just naturally by being that proficient.
You know what's interesting? At the beginning of the season, Harvard had 3 core players, Turner, Mullaney, and Rodriguez, returning. They were, I think they were all 3 all Ivy players. There was obviously a little bit of an injury scare with Turner at the end of December, but she bounced back, coming back in January, and clearly putting up some points here, accounting for about a third of Harvard's 30, more than a third. She's got 13 of Harvard's 30 points so far, in addition to 4 boards and 2 assists. What are you looking for in the second half, Aaron?
I'm just looking for a Columbia offensive explosion, Pernay. I feel like they haven't yet gotten into their own on the offensive side of the ball. We mentioned it several times that they're, you know, getting into the paint pretty consistently and creating shots for themselves, but they're not putting those shots into the basket. Just inconsistent scoring. There's only one player on Columbia's side that has more than 3 points per night. We know who that player is.
You could have guessed it. It's Abby Shue.
That's correct. So, you know, they've got a couple of their scorers, Raphael, Henderson, Collins, and Page, all with 3 points. Nicole Stevens has got a basket, but you can't just rely on Abby Shue getting you baskets whenever you're in need. You got to find a way to become more efficient with all of your other players. And I mean, safe to say for the most of the season they've been doing that, but just right now in this moment in time, it's just a little bit difficult.
That's absolutely right. Honestly, even though we've highlighted a lot of positives and accolades for a lot of players on the court, I would not call this a dominant performance by Columbia or frankly Harvard. I think their stats imply a much stronger outing.
Yeah, it seems like both these teams are a bit out of whack, and it's just a matter of who can put it together just enough to overcome their opponents.
That's right. Perhaps it's just first half. They're settling into their groove. We'll see. We'll see what this next quarter holds.
I'm sure Coach Griffith had a very strong halftime talk. She's a coach known for her intensity and asking for nothing but the best out of her players. So if anyone can galvanize their troops, I would pick Coach Griffith for that.
Absolutely. What's her slogan for the year, for the season? Edge, right? Endurance, drive, grit, excellence. Something like that. And
good enough for me. Good enough for government work.
That. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thanks to our sponsors, Mercedes-Benz of Manhattan.
So gracious of them to be providing us with this opportunity. All right, we have begun the second half. Harvard with the ball. Harvard looking for something. With the ball, it's Glenn. Gives it to Turner. Turner drives to her right, steps back. Mid-range jump shot gets the shooter's roll, and it's in. So Harvard get the first basket of the second half. 3-point lead currently, 32-29. Columbia now looking to respond. Collins. Right now it's Collins, Rafiu, the Henderson sisters, and Abby Shue. Abby Shue in the low post. Pump fakes, gets under for the layup. Can't get the shot, but's fouled on her way. So she will head to the line. And if you don't get the finish, the least you can do is get the foul, Pranay.
That's a fact. It's all about creating those opportunities. Abby clearly knows how to do that.
Abby Shue with the world on her shoulders.
Or at least this corner of it.
Can't hit the first free throw. A little bit of disappointment from the crowd, but they're working to rally her for her second shot.
Number 10 back in, Kitty Henderson.
Shue's second free throw, and that one doesn't go either, so Shue can't hit from the charity stripe. Harvard with the rebound. Turner coming up. Gives to Glenn. Back to Glenn. Goes to her left. Kicks it back out. Krupa. Glenn. Turner. Turner to her right. She's at the top of the key. Kicks it out to Krupa. Step back three. Does not shoot it. Turner has to toss one up. She had more time than she thought, and that shot is off kilter. Collins with the rebound. Here she comes. Gives it to Shue. Shue, step back three-pointer. It's up, and it's good. Abby Shue. You can say it again and again and again, but if you are not on top of her, you can guarantee that ball is going into the basket.
Absolutely.
Score tied at 32. Glenn picks up her dribble, gives to Turner. Turner down low. Looking for an opportunity. Good defense here by Columbia. And traveling called on Lola Mullaney. And that's not the first traveling we've seen, Pranay. What do you think's going on with that?
Yeah, there's a lot of traveling we're seeing here today. Is it the refs? Is it the players? Is it the pressure? Who knows?
Probably a combination of all three. Here's Fliss, gives to Collins. Collins hands off to Shue. Shue looking for some space. Now Rafiu. Collins in the corner. Nice ball movement here by Columbia. Shue finds some space behind the arc. She puts up the three. That's no good. Fighting for the rebound. Woo. Gets the pass to Collins as she jumps out. Collins goes up for the basket. That's good.
What a play. Boom goes the dynamite and the crowd.
What an effort play by Shue there to keep the ball alive. And there she picks up a steal. Columbia crowd getting into it as Abby Shue is doing everything. Here's Collins in the corner. Shoes right up next to her, doesn't give it away. Collins crosses over to her left, looking for Henderson. Kitty can't find a lane, comes back out to her sister. Fliss now to her left. Getting to the rim, goes up with it, but before the shot, it's another travel.
My gosh. We are really going to have a story on our hands here, huh?
You know, I know it's spring break, Pranay, but they got to stop with all the traveling.
Ha got him. Thanks for tuning in to 89.9 WKCR and WKCR HD. We have all your punting needs.
That's right. WKCR the punt. 3-pointer there from Turner. It's no good. Rebound Collins. So Harvard going on a bit of a cold run defensively. Columbia looking to capitalize. Really looking good to coming out. And Collins with another tough bucket. She gets fouled as well. I think she's headed to the line. Just like that, Columbia's lead is now at 4.
Absolutely. This is quite a tight game, but Columbia has came right out of that halftime looking strong.
That's right. Clearly on a mission. Much more focused. Getting the ball in the basket when they get to the rim. Collins looking for the 3-point play here to extend Columbia's lead to 5. Largest lead they've had of the game, and there it is.
Drains it.
Turner. She's going to call a timeout for Harvard. Columbia forcing Harvard into a timeout.
Already.
That's right. It's only a little over 3 minutes into the half, and already Harvard looking for new answers. And what do you think's been the difference maker, Pranay? What's jumping out to you right now?
Fundamentally, Columbia finished the drill. Harvard tried. They put some hustle down, let's be honest. But they just didn't seal the deal on a lot of those plays. They had possession. They tried to convert, and they didn't. They wound up moving the ball around a lot. But in the end, we saw, I think you commented on this, Aaron, their star, Turner, had to just throw up the ball for a quick shot. Otherwise, they risked a shot clock violation. No good. They were rushed. I think that's what it comes down to. They felt rushed coming out of the half. What do you think, Aaron?
I think that's good analysis, Pranay.
That's
really
high praise, Aaron.
And I think that just got to keep hammering what's working. Clearly, Harvard are uncomfortable, like you said. Columbia changed things up. Harvard not ready for that. Harvard struggling to prevent Columbia from doing what they want. And so why stop? You know, do what you want to do until they prove that they can stop you from doing it.
Absolutely. The crowd is flexing, literally flexing.
We got a nice flex cam here. Really good camera work here. I've never seen such attention to detail here in an Ivy Madness production.
Truly.
So it's really a pleasure as two people who are somewhat behind the scenes to see what's going into this, raised above the normal level of Columbia broadcasts, which is already quite high.
Absolutely. They're, you know what? Fans are really going all out for this too. I see a couple signs for Abby and the rest of the Lady Lions in the audience. Fans are really going all out for this, huh?
This is an event, it's centered around the basketball, but this is really an opportunity for Columbia fans who have been showing out all season to really reach that extra level. Statistically, Abby Shu's at 18 points. That's very impressive. Her counterpart, Hermione Turner, she's trying to keep up. She's at 15. Next on the line for that is Katie Krupa. She's got herself 9. 1 3-pointer. But just the disparity in three-point shooting is what continues to jump out at me.
Yeah, it seems to have fallen off in the second quarter for the Crimson. They had a stronger first quarter, I think, than second quarter, right?
That's right. 2 of 7 from 3 for Harvard. 6 of 13 for Columbia.
We're back.
So after a prolonged timeout, that was probably a media timeout as well. Harvard back with possession. Here's Turner. She's got an open jump shot from the charity stripe. Can't put it in. Rebound Shu. Shu to Collins. Collins back to Shu in the corner. Pump fake, and they get her for a travel. She put up the shot anyway, which didn't go. Not really sure where the travel was, Pranay. What do you think?
No, I think we're just sprinkling those around now.
You know, I wouldn't claim to be a basketball connoisseur, but travels tend to be pretty ticky-tacky.
Yeah, it's all about what you see. And you know what, I'm sure first day of the Ivy League tournament, the refs here are not looking to be taking on a bad reputation, are they?
Nice drive and pass there from Rodriguez, and fouled on the way up is Krupa, so she'll head to the line.
Krupa really improved over her performance last season. I have in my notes a couple things about how much better she's been doing. She just jumped in a couple stat categories compared with her freshman year. She's a sophomore, so a couple more years of eligibility for her. Ivy League obviously limits players to 4 years, so she's got 2 after this one.
Yeah, no graduate student play in the Ivy League. The only conference in Division I to make that distinction.
You know, I think a couple stars from the Ivy League, including one of the Columbia Lady Lions stars last year, they were seniors. To get that 5th year of graduate level play, they all transferred down. I think they all met up in Maryland, they beat Maryland this past week because they're down at USC. Isn't that right?
Oh, wow. I was not aware of that. Well, very interesting community moment for Columbia. We love that, and I'm sure that those USC players are supporting Columbia and Ivy Madness right now. On the court now are the Henderson sisters, Collins, Raffu, and Shu, the starting 5, playing strongly as ever. They've got a 3-point lead, 37-34. Got about 5:45 left in the third quarter. Down low to Fliss. She's looking for a basket, gives to Raffu, wide open, and she'll put it in.
That was a good play under pressure by Fliss Henderson.
Had 2 on her, still had the presence of mind to find the open player, and Raffu perfectly positioned underneath. Now Harvard looking to respond. Here's Turner, goes to her left, kicks out wide. That is Anderson. Anderson goes for the jump shot, no good. Rebound, Fliss Henderson. Rips it away. Columbia looking to build upon their lead. 5 is the largest they've had. That's what they've got right now, 39-34. Down low to Collins. Collins faces up her defender, gets underneath. Another pass to Raffu, and she gets another wide open layup. So clear plan by Columbia to draw that second defender with the guard down low. Allow Raffu some space underneath, and it's worked 2 times consecutively.
Back to back.
That right there is strong coaching, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely.
If I had to bet, that's been on the film. Nice move there. Jump shot by Bello, Sanaya Glenn Bello, and she puts that in. Nice move off the dribble. Henderson back to Shu. Shu's got space for a 3. She takes that. Bounces off the front of the rim. No good. She can only make so many. Turner trying to drive in transition. Gets up a shot, but can't put it in. She's got her arms up. I think she wanted a foul there, Pranay.
Yeah, it looked like it.
And speaking of fouls, sorry.
Lions just picked one up.
That's right. Turner, I think, perhaps a little bit of frustration. She reached in when she didn't need to. And I think we got a timeout for Columbia here, Pranay.
Looks like it. They're lining up some chairs. This looks like it might be a little bit of a longer lineup, huh? Longer timeout.
So Harvard fading out here. Still only down 5 points, but it feels a little bit more pronounced than that, wouldn't you say?
It absolutely does. It feels like the energy, the wind has been taken out of their sails a bit in this second half already. They've been taking some shots, but they looked a little bit futile and a little bit rushed, especially that last play. They were on turkey watch a couple times. That's something the coach, Megan Griffith, has been pushing the team to accomplish. That's 3 stops, 3 defensive stops in a row. They got this little turkey they made up, the little pop on the bench with all the players to celebrate that. They've really been emphasizing defensive control.
I think it's been working for them because they're really keeping Harvard low in the scoring. And, you know, Columbia not scoring extremely highly themselves, which is unusual for them, we should note.
Yep.
They lead the Ivy League in points per game. They're usually scoring around 77. Second place is at 69, so they are by quite some margin usually the most proficient scorers in the Ivy League. Sometimes the game doesn't take you in that direction.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I think part of that, you can see in the stats, obviously, star player Abby Shu. She's putting up her numbers. She's looking like she's headed towards another 20-plus point game. But it's Cecilia Collins, who usually is a pretty consistent stat producer and point producer. She has not been getting the ball nearly as much. I think she's been getting a little bit less play time this game, perhaps. I don't know. She's also only one of 4 from the field and 1 of 2 from the 3.
I think in terms of underperformers, someone we should also look at is on the other side of the ball, Harvard. Elena Rodriguez. She's usually a very important player for Harvard, scoring over 10 points per game, almost 7 rebounds per game. We talked about her field goal percentage, but she has yet to score a point. 23 minutes, and she has not put the ball in the basket, Pranay.
0 for 3, and we've talked about that. They've been trying to go through her on the inside, and that's just not seemingly working for them. She scored in the double digits, Elena Rodriguez. She's a junior, number 10. Scored in the double digits and led the team in rebounds and assists in half of this season's games. So this is very much out of the ordinary. Perhaps that is a testament to the Lady Lions' defensive output here.
I'm sure it has to be, and when you take a player that significant out of the game like that, I mean, that can throw a wrench in a game plan like no other. You know, Elena Rodriguez, a player you're used to relying upon so heavily, all of a sudden, no offensive impact. You know, where do you turn? There's only so many places, and Harmony Turner can't do it all on her own. So if Harvard want to have a better chance, they need Rodriguez to find the basket.
That's absolutely right. And she's been in the game the second longest so far. So clearly they need to make some adjustments in who they're putting in or how they're using those players on the court.
Perry Page with the awkward turnaround shot on the post. Couldn't get it going. Harvard rebounds, looking to cut down on that 5-point lead. Here on the ball is Zarich. She gives to Mulaney. Glenn at the top looking for teammates. Mulaney in the corner for 3. Didn't have enough on it. Easy rebound, but a missed layup from Anderson, and Columbia get away with that one. Harvard really should have punished them there. Henderson gives to Henderson. Now to Shu. Kitty in the corner gives to Fliss. Fliss underneath, not a lot of space. Backing down her defender. Out to Collins. She takes a 3-point shot. That's off the mark. Rebound hard fought by Mulaney.
Henderson's sisters very comfortable passing to each other, making plays off of each other.
I'm sure they grew up doing that a lot. And it must be special for both of them being able to share the court like this. Glenn with the long-range 2-pointer rolls off the rim, and Shu picks it up. Shu looking for the long-range pass to Kitty Henderson. She's going to slow it down into the paint. Nice move, throws it up, too high off the backboard.
That one looked a little rushed.
Yeah, it felt like Columbia could have settled that down. And here's Glenn with the drive, too high off the backboard as well. And right now, both teams just going back and forth. Wide open, Fliss Henderson underneath, and there you go. Well, that's a lesson in when to go quickly, because Fliss Henderson, you're not going to get an easier bucket than that.
That's right.
Mulaney gets some space, 3-point shot, can't get it to fall. Offensive rebound, and a foul on the loose ball.
This lead is really yawned open, 7 points plus for the Lady Lions.
And it's done so in a quiet way. You know, the energy in this game, Pranay, has kind of flattened out, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, absolutely. Like we were saying earlier, coming out of the half, Harvard seems to have come back with a little bit of the wind out of their sails. It's been a pretty close game all the way through. This is probably I think this is the widest the lead has been so far, hasn't it, Aaron?
7 points, largest lead Columbia's had, that's right. Looking to grow that. Harvard looking to do the opposite. Krupa gives to Glenn underneath Rodriguez, and there you go, her first points of the game.
They've been trying that all night. Finally worked.
You've spoken into existence, I think. Bit of commentator's curse, if you will. Here's Kitty Henderson given the ball by Rafiu. Good defense by Harvard. Rafiu underneath. Rafiu turn around, misses the layup, fighting for the rebound, can't get it under control. Mulaney comes up with it, and Harvard coming back, looking to cut this lead to as low as 2. Underneath, turnaround, Krupa blocked by Page.
Big plays.
Really nice defense as Columbia has their big lineup out there. Three-pointer from Stevens. It's short. Rebound, Kitty Henderson. She goes back up and gets fouled.
Turner getting a little frustrated talking to the ref right here.
Doesn't feel like she's been getting the benefit of the doubt on the calls. One of the rare moments on the court when Abby Shue is not there for the Lions. Instead, it is Kitty Henderson, Rafiu, Stevens, Perry, and Weiss. Kitty Henderson hits her first free throw. Receiving some intel from Stevens. Joining in for a rebound attempt are Rafiu and Perry. But they won't be able to grab it. Rebound picked up by Carly White. White bringing the ball up the court, hands it off to Mulaney. Here's Turner. What can she do? Turner finds some space in the paint, puts up the layup, and this time gets the foul call. You can tell she was thankful for that one.
Absolutely. 6-point game. She needs a couple, something like that.
Columbia been a bit soft underneath. Harmony Turner really easily able to get to the rim.
That's right. She's been driving right through, finding those openings.
I guess that's why she scores so many points. She's at 16 points now, looking for her 17th. There it is.
She is fairly talented at creating those opportunities, regardless of her percentage of taking advantage of them.
Stevens bringing it up. Abby Shue back into the game. It's Shue, Rafiu, Page, Stevens, and Weiss, so no Henderson sisters. Shue trying to get the ball underneath. Turner reached just a little bit too far. And she's got to be careful, Harmony Turner. She does not want to get herself into foul trouble. Talking to her coach right now. She's got 3 fouls, does she, Pranay? That's bad news.
That's right. That's right.
Shue's first free throw is good.
5-point game.
Going in for the potential rebound is Rafiu and Collins. Shue to extend the lead back up to 6, and it goes. That was Shue's 20th point.
You heard it here first, friends. We called that about 10 minutes ago, huh?
Harvard, what can they do to respond? And we're going to get an off-ball foul. Cecilia Collins called for that, some extra contact in the paint. She's going to get subbed out for Page. That was Collins's, I believe, 3rd foul. So Harvard inbounding from below the basket, looking for someone. That was nearly 5 seconds, and they throw it all the way back court. That'll be a backcourt violation and tremendous defending by Columbia. Don't see that very often, do you, Pranay?
That's right. Seems like the combination of pressure and tension has really been building up on that side, being down consistently for this amount of time. No doubt is no fun.
Cecilia Collins subbing back in, and then looks like they're actually undoing that. Maybe they were not able to make that substitution. Regardless, inbounding will be Perry. Will be Page. I've been referring to her as Perry, I've now realized, which is her last name. Page is actually her last name. Page inbounds to Weiss. Weiss breaking it up. She will get it across, really closely defended by Anderson. Still with the ball is Weiss. Eventually hands it to Shue. Shue's got 13 seconds to make something happen here. Isolated. Being defended by Glenn. Gets the pick, goes to her right. Takes the very contested three-pointer. Off the mark. Rebound falls to Rafiu. Rafiu goes back up with it, and she finishes.
Crowd loves that.
And that'll end the third quarter. Long buzzer-beating shot is not close.
My gosh, checking the stats here. Both teams are similar in rebounds and steals, turnovers, but assists. Columbia's got 2.5 times more assists than Harvard does. I think they're just clearly demonstrating they're able to take plays and execute.
That's right, 10-4 in terms of assists, and that speaks to Columbia's ability to move the ball and find the open players underneath the basket. That has really improved in this third quarter. Their lead has now grown to 8. That is the largest lead of the game so far. Columbia feeling comfortable, and you know what? I'm not looking to do any commentators' jinxes here, Pranay, so I'm going to keep my mouth as close to shut as possible, but Columbia have to be feeling good. Really strong third quarter performance.
It's true. They really do have to be feeling good here. They have not given up the lead. They have extended their lead. It's now +8 for Columbia. They're able to move the ball around. They're making a lot of fast changes, frankly, and they have adapted to this new style of play, this new pace of play, really well. They're putting up a lot of assists, working together regardless of who's on the court and who is going off, and that seems to change within 2 minutes tops per person outside of Abby Shu. They're really working together, aren't they?
A lot of rotation, really comprehensive team effort. You hit the nail on the head, Pranay. And let's not forget, they came into this half actually trailing. They were down 1 point, and not only that, but Harvard scored the first bucket of the half. So it really felt like maybe Harvard were going to start pulling away and grab that momentum in Columbia. Columbia pulled it right back and said, no, this is our game, our home court, and they're defending it well now. And one can only hope that they can continue to grow their lead. Well, I say one, but I really mean a Columbia fan. I'm sure Harvard fans will be hoping the opposite.
I think you're right. I think your instincts are you hit the nail on the head on that one.
And we're getting a lot of support here from the Columbia dance team and cheerleaders, which are positioned directly in front of us, as well as the band. So we're getting quite the fan experience as broadcasters.
And hopefully you are too. I'm sure some of y'all are able to hear that in the background. You are right here with us.
Let's have a quick look at statistics, Pranay. Does anything from the first 3 quarters pull you in any particular direction?
You know, Harvard's shooting by period has really gone downhill in terms of their field goal percentage. It's started above 50%. Now it's just over 20%. They're having a lot of trouble at the 3, and we've noted that consistently over the course of the game. They've got their number 2 all-time three-point shooter, and she's been, frankly, controlled on the outside. She's had to go inside. That has not really worked out for her in terms of point production. From the Lady Lions end, however, they really stepped up their shooting percentage from about a third of their shots made in the first quarter, all the way up to nearly half of their shots made in the third. Aaron, what are you thinking about as we look at the stats and go into this fourth and final quarter?
You know, my eyes keep pulling me to that field goal percentage in the third quarter. They only made 3 field goals in the entire third quarter. That is insane, if I may say so myself. So I'm sure that's just a testament to the way that shooting goes in basketball, but there's also some element of Columbia defense. Either way, Harvard have got to find a way to get those shots to fall if they want to stay in this game. I mean, they were incredibly efficient to begin in the first quarter, and they've just fallen off ever since.
Absolutely.
Abby Shu with the turnover, giving Harvard an opportunity to start off the quarter correctly. Missed underhand layup from Turner, agonizingly rolled off the rim. Rebound Shu. On the court now for Columbia. It's Shu, Collins, Rafiu, Stevens, and Weiss. So we are Henderson-less once more.
That said, Kitty seems to be on deck looking to come in at the next opportunity.
Here's Rafiu at the top of the key. She shot 1 3 from there earlier, didn't make it. Shu with the step back, long range 2-pointer, rattles in and out.
A rare miss for Abby Shu.
Just off the mark. Now she's defending here. Nice move by Krupa underneath, got Abby to jump. And she puts that one in. So Krupa giving Harvard what they need to start. Here's Collins. Room to space up her defender. She's got the baseline. Turnaround layup. Can't get it to go. Rebound Turner. 3-point attempt here from Mulaney. Dangerous shooter. Bounces off the rim. Rebound comes to Elena Rodriguez. Shot clock reset. Turner taking her time. Both Henderson sisters ready to come into the game. 6 seconds to shoot. Rodriguez got to make something happen. She pushes into Collins, gets to the rim. Underhand layup, had nothing on it. Rebound Shu. Shu to Stevens. She's got Rafiu. Rafiu goes up with the early shot, and she gets that in. Lead is back up to 8. 50-42 is the score. Little under 8 minutes left in regulation here. Here's Rodriguez, who's remained quiet, still only has that one basket. Mulaney driving. Good defense by Collins. Shot by Mulaney is off target. Rebound Shu. Hands it off to Stevens as she falls out of bounds. Shu to Collins, now up the court. Wide spacing, 4 players along the arc. Now all 5. Zone defense. No, this is man defense by Harvard. Stevens getting into the paint, dribbling with her left. Good defense by Turner. Underhand scoop by Stevens, just not enough on it. Rebound Rodriguez. Turner on transition, she's got no one on her. Pass underneath, a lot of contact, no foul called. Collins is still down.
There was a fair amount of, is that a foul? Did they call something there?
It doesn't appear so.
Yeah, it doesn't appear so. She did go down kind of hard.
No, cruelly, it looks like they're calling it out of bounds off of Collins,
Oof.
who was on the ground when she touched the ball last. Harvard ball underneath. Rodriguez, 20 seconds on the shot clock. Mulaney with the quick 3, rattles in and out. Rebound Page. She gets fouled on the loose ball. So Columbia will take that out underneath. Foul is charged to number 12, Carly White.
+8 for Columbia right now.
Yes, score still 50-42. 7 minutes to go in regulation.
3 players in the backcourt, a lot of pressure for Harvard.
Stevens gives to Fliss Henderson, who's back in the game alongside Kitty, who's now on the ball. Kitty Henderson drives to her left. Picks up some speed, can't get the finish. Fliss with the rebound. Gives to Shu. Shu to Fliss. Fliss has some space. Gets the floater. She gets it in plus the foul. Wasn't sure if they were going to call the offensive foul there, Pranay, but they did not.
A lot of action on the inside there. Seems like both teams are very much in the fight hard for this fourth quarter stage.
Some conferencing going on as Fliss gets ready for her free throw. Opportunity for the three-point play here, and she does not convert. Rolls off the rim, rebound Rodriguez. Turner pushing it up the court. And looks like we're going to get a timeout call here. Timeout
Harvard.
For Harvard.
10-point game.
First double-digit lead of the game for either team, Pranay.
That's right. It looks like Columbia's really done some work. The Crimson, they've really seemed to be bringing a lot more pressure, a lot more hustle this fourth quarter. They can feel the need to put up some points, obviously, given the gap is widened between them and the Lions. Aaron, what do you think is going to need to happen from their end, besides, frankly, just putting up numbers?
Harvard have got to find a way to break down this Columbia defense, Pranay.
Does not look like that is anywhere in sight. That Columbia defense, they've been fairly active. They've been fairly active on the outside, forcing that ball inside. We did notice for the first time in the entire game, Rodriguez, who was prior to this game noted as a standout player for Harvard, very much controlled, not able to convert, 0 for 3 the entire game until this quarter from the inside.
Really, Harmony Turner putting Harvard on her back at the moment. She's got 17. Next highest score at 13 is Krupa. And then after that, it's Mulaney at 4. So 2 players in the double digits. Only 2 players above 5 points scored for Harvard. And I'll tell you what, it's difficult to win a game that way. Meanwhile, Columbia, they've got Shu with 20, Rafiu with 11, and Collins with 8.
That's right. That's right. It looks like, and honestly, what's interesting for Harvard is that they don't have any seniors at the very top of their point production. Turner's a junior. Krupa is a sophomore. Mulaney is a senior. Usually shows up. Today does not look like she's been able to put up a lot of numbers. Rodriguez, a junior as well.
Perhaps that is a note for optimism for Harvard fans that they'll keep this core and that they have another year to grow together.
Perhaps.
On the Columbia side, only one upperclassman, although you would probably argue that it's the most important player, which is Abby Shu. This is, of course, her senior season.
Interestingly, we just got another stat sheet, and we see once again, so far in the fourth quarter, Harvard, they started in the first quarter field goal percentage over half of their shots made, down to 40 in the second quarter, down to 21 in third, down to 14, 1 for 7 from the field so far in the first couple minutes of the fourth quarter. That trend continues. 6 minutes left, 10-point game.
And we are back underway. Harvard with the ball.
And the Columbia crowd going crazy.
We got some fan action for a young little Columbia fan. She was garnering some support. We got a foul on the floor. Not sure who that foul was called on. I will report that as soon as I have been informed. But Harvard will take it out. They get a reset to 20 on the shot clock. Turner. Foul was called on Fliss Henderson. Here's Glenn. Gives to Rodriguez. Rodriguez to Mulaney down low. Turnaround hook shot. That'll go in. Abigail Wright with the bucket. That's a freshman from Newtown, Mass. Page brings it up, hands it off to Kitty Henderson. It's Henderson, Page, Rafiu, Shu, and Stevens. Here's Shu. Fakes the turnaround shot. Trying to back down her defender. Fall away. Off the mark. Air ball, actually. Rebound was Wright.
It was a tough angle to make that shot.
Nice pass by Rodriguez. Finds Wright. So the first year contributing quite a bit in this sequence. Columbia still lead by 6. Kitty Henderson gets into the paint. She's met by a wall of defenders trying to avoid the jump ball. She can't. I think we're actually going to get a foul call here. Yes, we are. Foul called on Lola Mulaney. So just before the jump ball, Columbia gets a bit of a break there. Into the game now is Collins and Fliss Henderson for Rafiu and Page.
5 minutes left, 6-point game.
This is a smaller five out there, Pranay.
That's right, that's right.
Abby Shu providing the height, and she's not the player you want down low.
No.
Here's Collins. Zone defense now by Harvard. Henderson with the floater. In and out. Can't get that luck. Kitty Henderson. Seems like the bucket just has a lid on it. Underneath, here's Wright once more. Another hook shot attempt. Just barely rolls out, but it's out of bounds off of Turner. So it's Columbia ball.
Harvard really going for it right now. They consistently have 2 to 3 of their players down in backcourt pressure. Just bring the ball out. They're showing how hungry they are for closing off this lead.
That's right. Full court press, trying to make Columbia make mistakes. getting around 4.5 minutes left, you got to start pouring on as much pressure as possible.
That's right. The Lions have been fairly resilient here. Still +6, 4.5 minutes.
Kitty Henderson drives, puts up the shot, which is no good, but she gets fouled, so she'll head to the line.
Lions have been pretty smart about driving hard when they see an opportunity. Even if they don't get it, they're still able to draw a couple fouls here pretty consistently. Particularly with a couple of the Crimson players racking up those fouls. That seems like a strategy that has some benefits this late in the game.
Without a doubt. The more foul shots you can amass in the latter stages of a game, the better. And Columbia are executing that strategy pretty well. In terms of team fouls, I'm not sure we actually have access to that for the quarter. It looks like they're actually on 4. Or I'm not sure if that's what we're looking at here.
4 for Harvard, 1 for Columbia.
There we go.
Columbia was good for both of those from the line.
So Harvard already entering the bonus. Here's Rodriguez looking for some space. She puts up the shot. It rolls around the rim. Somehow does not go in. Foul called on the loose ball. That's going to be, I believe, called on number 20 on Harvard, which is Lola Mullaney.
I think that's right.
And she's going to come out.
8-point game, 4 minutes left. Kitty going back to the line for Columbia. Coach Griffith and Nicole Stevens doing a lot of conferencing back there, setting up clearly another play.
First free throw made by Henderson. The crowd likes that one. And I think as we get more and more towards the end of this game, the crowd's going to pick up.
I think that's right. I wonder how much of the team's performance is due to a very strong showing from the home court.
Page had a chance at an offensive rebound. Instead, we're getting a jump ball. That's Harvard ball. It's still a victory for Columbia because it would have been Harvard's ball anyway. And now the next jump ball will go Columbia's way.
That's right. Very strategic play from the Columbia team tonight.
Inbounding. Here is Harmony Turner. Columbia with a sort of soft press. Still giving Harvard the space. We've just passed under the 4 minutes mark. Columbia leading 55-46 here at Levian Gymnasium. Abby Shue with the deflection. Kitty Henderson got a hand on it too, but it goes back to Turner. Here's Wright for 3. No good. Rebound Kitty Henderson. Long pass forward was perhaps ill-advised, but Perry Page works to make it happen. Rips it from the hands of the Harvard player. Here's Page. Columbia just looking to eat some time off the clock.
Just inside 3.5 minutes. 9-point game for Columbia.
Fliss Henderson. She's driving into the paint, and she gets called for a travel, Pranay. It's been a little while since we saw a travel.
Oh, they still go here? I guess they do.
Never get tired of your wordplay, Pranay.
Right back at you, big dog.
That's what they should call you, wordplay Pranay.
Oh, no. We're doing nicknames now. I'm in trouble.
Well, I hope to make that one stick for as long as humanly possible. Harmony Turner with the ball. Pass underneath, and Nicole Stevens called for a foul. She reached just a little bit too much in an attempt to steal that pass. Harvard will take it out from underneath. On the court right now for Columbia is the Henderson sisters, Abby Shue, Nicole Stevens, and Perry Page. Underneath here is Wright. Backing down Page. Turnaround shot. She gets it to go and foul as well. Nice finish from Abigail Wright.
That was a strong play from their freshman.
Really didn't contribute very much in the first 3 quarters of this game and comes in here in the fourth and just making things happen for Harvard.
Looks like it, only in the game for about 5-10 minutes so far.
Well, here she is with an opportunity at a 3-point play. And she hits it.
Drained it, even with the thunder coming down from the stands.
So it's a 6-point game again. Columbia leading 55-49. Risky inbound pass from Katie Henderson, but gets it to Rafiu. Here's Cecilia Collins. Gives it to Abby Shue. She's going to take that three-pointer just off the mark. Rebound is going to go to Krupa. So Shue been a little bit colder recently, but all she needs is one more shot, and she'll be right back in the groove, and that's exactly what Harvard doesn't want. 2.5 minutes left. 6-point deficit. Can Columbia hold on here? Trying to get to the final game of the Ivy League. Couldn't do it last year. Trying to do it this year. Harvard can't get the shot to fall. Underneath is not Collins. It's Stevens. She couldn't avoid the jump ball. It's Columbia possession regardless. Yeah, let's not forget, Pranay, what this means to Columbia. Really felt like they had a shot at the Ivy League championship last year, but got knocked out by this very Harvard team, and now they're looking for that revenge, and they're only 2 minutes and change away from that revenge. Huge down-court pass. Here's Shue underneath. Spins around, gets the defender to fall. Easy bucket for Abby Shue.
Crowd loves that.
And everyone's back on their feet, back making sound, supporting this Columbia team as they try to close out this game. 2 minutes to go. 8-point lead. Defense chance, and we get an off the ball foul. We've had quite a few of those in this game. Fouls called on Stevens. Stevens' fourth foul of the game, so she's in trouble. Fliss Henderson also on 4, so they got to be careful.
Under 2 minutes left in the game, and we're still under 60 points for both teams. 57 for Columbia, 49 for the Crimson.
Not only that, but Columbia yet to enter the bonus. Really positive defense. Here's Wright, the freshman. And they're going to get an offensive foul. Lola Mullaney pushed. So a really nice sell there from, I believe it was Nicole Stevens. Felt the elbow from Mullaney. Fell backwards and got the call. That's Mullaney's 4th foul, so she comes out. What a huge swing there for Columbia, and perhaps that was Harvard's best remaining chance. Not to say that they're out of it, but that was a tough break.
That's right, that's right.
Here's Stevens. Gets the ball poked away by Turner. Nice play, wide open layup, and she'll get that. Important moment for Harvard as now they're only down 6. And turnover on the inbounds pass. Easy basket now for Carly White. And a bit of a breakdown there for Columbia, Pernay.
That's right. 10 seconds or less, 4 points for Harvard. There's a lot of conferencing going on the sidelines about this right now during a quick huddle.
30 seconds timeout called by Columbia. Coach Griffith trying to collect her troops.
Absolutely. It's a 4-point game after being close to a 10-point game just a moment ago. Harvard's clearly showing a little bit of hustle, and all that pressure in the backcourt is translated in those last 10 seconds of the game. How are we feeling, Aaron? What are they talking about down there? What's the play that they're drawn up right now? What does Columbia need to do here?
Well, Lord only knows, but I'm sure Griffith is making sure her players are staying sharp, because that was a real mental lapse there at the end of the game.
That's right.
That's exactly what you cannot allow. You had an 8-point lead. It's very substantial, and all of a sudden that's cut in half, and it's a 2-possession game, Pernay.
That's right. A year and change ago at this very tournament, the way Harvard won was via overtime. That's clearly something that the Lady Lions need to look out for. That was a rare case of overtime in this tournament overall. Harvard actually leads the Lady Lions all time, 65-13. So it's on the Lions' back right now to inch away at that.
We're back in play. Successful inbound pass this time. Collins to Shue. Shue underneath the Collins, and she feels some hard contact there. That contact was from Gabby Anderson. She'll get the foul call there.
That is a break the Lions are certainly going to welcome.
Absolutely. They pushed the ball down the court. Harvard was not ready for that, and they reacted poorly. So Cecilia Collins is going to get some foul shots here.
You know, it looked like the Lions really played the entire court on that last possession, and that allowed them to pull the Crimson out of place, make some hasty plays. That got them to the charity line.
That's right. One thing that Columbia loves is a big down court pass, and it's risky, but when it works for them, and it often does because of their talent, it yields positive results. First free throw by Collins is made. Henderson sisters filing in to contest the rebound on the second one if they should need it.
Collins, I think, with the highest free throw percentage on the team, 87% this season.
So the worst player to foul on Columbia, and she hit both of her free throws when they were most important, Pernay. So now the lead is up to 6 again.
With a minute 21 to go.
Here's Turner. Harvard's got to work fast. Quick ball movement by Harvard. Back to Turner. Turner goes to her left. She found a route to the basket. Blocked by Shu.
Big plays.
Shu with the rebound, too. She's pushing it up. Abby Shu, she's going to slow it down. That's the smart move.
That's right.
What a defensive play by Abby Shu. Kitty Henderson maneuvering around defenders. She gets fouled. That'll be called on Anderson, and she'll head to the foul line for 2 shots.
Lions strategy is pretty clear here. Draw some fouls, run out the clock. They've got under a minute left in this game.
These are some big free throws for Columbia, Pernay.
That they are. Kitty Henderson, 57% from the charity line.
She hits the first one. And if she hits the second one, I think, I don't want to jinx anything, but that's 8 points in under a minute. That's a tall mountain to climb for Harvard. And she puts it in. Harvard's going to get a timeout.
How many do they have left? 2 timeouts left for Harvard, 3 left for Columbia. Plenty to use in the last minute, but what will they turn into? The crowd on their feet, loving it. We've got the Lion out. We've got Zombie Nation. Stands are having a good time tonight, huh?
Absolutely, and they're creating a really nice environment here for our neutral.
Absolutely.
What has been standing out to you, Pernay, for this Columbia's fourth quarter performance?
You know what? I'd actually zoom all the way out. We were talking about this before we were able to join you all live on air. Aaron and I were talking about how women's basketball, women's collegiate basketball is really having a moment in the sun.
That's right.
If you look on Google Trends, if you look on historical searches of news, of merchandise, and simply of stories and terms on Google.com, this is the highest point in time ever for interest in this sport in the collegiate at the collegiate level. Part of that is perhaps the stories that are coming out about this team and other teams. There was just a recent article in The Athletic yesterday about Abby Shu, Columbia Star. We're back.
Foul called on Kitty Henderson. She thought she saw an opportunity to pounce. Instead, she's going to give Harmony Turner 2 free throws. Not the wisest move.
No. 8-point game, 47 seconds to go.
In the game for Columbia right now are the Henderson sisters, Shu, Collins, and Stevens. In for Harvard, it's Turner, Krupa, Glenn, White, and Anderson. Harmony Turner hits her first free throw. Second one is no good. Rebound being fought for. Shu has it. And we're going to get a timeout, Columbia, to secure possession.
Three timeouts left for Columbia, 1 left for Harvard. 43.7 seconds to go.
And we are experiencing the ritualistic slowing down of the end of a basketball game.
And frankly, all sports that are covered on any form of media at this point. I think we're all used to this one, huh? A lot of timeouts. Everyone wants to be strategic in how they use their final moments. This game got, for Columbia, I think, a little too close for comfort there, being a 4-point game. Literally, 30 seconds ago, Aaron?
Yeah.
My gosh.
They've managed to build it back out a little bit. Lead is currently standing at 8 with possession. It's a very, very strong position per day. And A person who is more presumptuous than I might say that Columbia has wrapped this up, but I would not say that. I would never say that.
No, sir. You will not hear that on tonight's broadcast.
No, you will not. Anything can happen. Columbia certainly knows that with what happened in this very matchup, in this very moment in their season a year ago.
That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. It was a game that ended in tie, went to overtime. So a situation very similar to this unfolded just over a year ago at this very tournament.
371 days, Pranay. 371 days they've been waiting to reverse the narrative. And this is their opportunity, and they are that close. They are inches away.
That is right. We're back.
Looking to inbound is Columbia. Nice incisive pass to Nicole Stevens. Harvard looking to foul. Collins trying to rip it away. Good defense, and it's a jump ball, Harvard ball. So Harmony Turner able to make something happen there on defense without committing a foul.
That is quite literally what they need to do here at this point. 38 seconds left. 8-point game.
Well, no matter what happens, you have to think they're going to resort to fouling, because once we get under 30 seconds, Columbia will be able to just hold it for as long as they believe.
That's right, and Harvard using up their final timeout right here.
Talking it over now. Harvard have to find a way to get a quick bucket. We've experienced 6 seconds of action since the last timeout. And in that 6 seconds of action, Columbia inbounded the ball, made one successful pass, and then lost the jump ball. They now have to defend against Harvard. They've got an 8-point lead with 38 seconds to go.
That's right. 10 fouls to 2. I'm sorry, 5 fouls to 9. Columbia to Harvard. 38 seconds.
Leading.
Fouls are likely what we're going to see coming up here. No timeouts left for Harvard. Columbia players back on the field already, ready to go. Harvard players about to join them.
Leading all players this game in scoring is Abby Shue. She's got 22 points. She's also got the most rebounds of any player in the game at 14, so she's carrying a double-double right now.
Nearly half of Columbia's rebounds, I believe.
She's got that height. Short-range jump shot from Turner. It's good. And Columbia are going to call a timeout.
6-point game, 31 seconds to go. The last minute and a half of this game has been about 10 minutes in real life, huh?
It has. It's been a slow one, and that's something you can expect, especially in the playoffs here. Every team going to use every single possible timeout that they have to talk it over as much as possible.
This is the definition of a hard-fought battle here. The Lions are certainly anxious to build on their Ivy League championship win. I'm sorry, their regular season win, and move forward in the Ivy League championship.
And Harvard, they've been down for this entire second half, but they have not been out, Pranay. And they are down 6 points. And while it's very improbable for them to make this back, it's still definitely enough to keep them interested. And they're not going to go down without a fight. Inbound to Stevens, back to Henderson. Columbia just looking to avoid the foul, but they can't. So foul is called on Kitty Henderson. She's going to head to the line. Coming in as substitutes are Rafiu and Page. Supposedly, you would think for rebounding purposes. Shue actually does come out, which is surprising considering her rebounding abilities.
That's right.
Henderson's got 2 shots here. First shot is good. She's been ice cold in the most important time.
Clutch.
In our Fliss and Rafiu to rebound. Ideally, they won't need to. Second shot from Henderson. That goes off the rim. Rebound goes to Elena Rodriguez. She gives to Turner. Here they go. 20 seconds remaining. They're down by 7. They got to get a shot up right now. Here's Turner. She gets the pull-up 3. No good. Heel of the rim. Rebound Anderson. They got to go up with it one more time. Contested 3, and that's good. What a shot from Krupa.
Absolutely.
4-point game with 9 seconds to go. Another timeout called by Columbia. I think this is the last one.
Looks like one left for Columbia, but 9 seconds left in the game.
This just continues to get tighter and tighter, Pernay.
That is true. This band is really working through every one of their songs.
62-58 the score. 9 seconds remaining. Surely you would think, this is a good route for Columbia to close it out at this point.
Absolutely.
All they got to do is grab it and hold on to it. Surely Harvard will foul, though, so we'll probably see some foul shots upcoming.
That sounds like it would be sensible for them. Nicole Stevens going down. She's been really producing a lot more this season over last, and she's been used a lot more, 20% more in the new year. We're back.
Looking for an inbound pass for Fliss Henderson. She's going to get immediately fouled. Foul will be charged to Katie Krupa.
1 second till the foul. We have 7.8 seconds left. You do the math. There's a lot more action left in this game.
Of note is that Krupa has just committed her 5th foul, so she is done. She's going to miss these last 7.8 seconds. Foul shots for Fliss Henderson here.
Fliss Henderson from the line has been shooting 65%. So, pretty reasonable shooter out there.
Well, she missed her first shot. Here's her second attempt. That one is good. So it's a 5-point game now. What can Harvard possibly do in 7 seconds? Here is Turner. She's going to have to throw something up. She loses control. Glenn with the three-pointer. And my goodness, she put it in. 0.8 seconds. Can they do anything in 0.8 seconds? No, they cannot.
2-point game.
No, they cannot. So Harvard, they stuck around as best as they could, but they could not overcome the powerful Columbia Lions on their home court, and they take home the win. What say you, Pernay?
That is a strong showing from this team. The score, very, very tight in the end. 63-61. The Lady Lions really worked for this win. You could see this all along the way. They really showed up. I think they shined on the defensive side of the ball more than the offensive side. This is below average for them, frankly, in terms of point production, but they put up a lot of rebounds. That's something Coach Griffith has really been working with them on. 38-39. 39 rebounds for the Lions, but 38 for the Crimson. Harvard really caught up on assists. Outdid Columbia on steals and fewer turnovers, but in terms of pressure, in terms of limiting some key players on the Harvard side, the Lady Lions really showed up. And that's clear from the score throughout the game. Their lead stretched out to about 10 points for a good chunk of the second half, but they were able to seal the deal even with a couple close calls. 4-point game at one point in a minute and a half, and with 0.8 seconds left, it was a 2-point game, but just not enough for the Crimson to overcome a very strong showing from the Lady Lions defense.
That's right. We talked about earlier in the game, we talked about how this clearly wasn't the strongest game from either team, but it was about which team could just do enough to get over the top. And great teams like this Columbia team, they find the way to do it, and they did. 2-point victory on paper, much more commanding if you watched it live. Either way, Columbia women's basketball are heading to the Ivy League championship game to play Princeton tomorrow at 5 p.m. What an exciting moment to be a Columbia fan. We thank you so much for listening to this broadcast and following along this exciting basketball game. It has been an absolute pleasure to cover it tonight. My name is Aaron Cohen. I've been joined with Pranay Udutha. Do you want to say one last thing, Pranay, before we get off the air here?
Thanks for tuning in to 89.9 WKCR and WKCR HD. Hope to see you next time.
Have a good night.